So first, I just want to say thank you all for joining. This is my Gold Award project for Girl Scouts. It's called The Art of Applying, and the goal of this project is to educate high schoolers on the college admissions process and the applications process for art school. So that includes film, dance, art, theater, music, anything that falls under that kind of category. So part of the project is doing these presentations where yesterday I talked about evaluating which art school is the best for you. Today we are going to be talking about writing a personal essay or an artist statement. And tomorrow, I hope you all will consider joining. We will be talking about creating the digital portfolio. The main part of this project, though, is the creation of the handbook that I am making with extensive information that will be passed out to every public high school in Broward County into their guidance office. So that is the main chunk of this project. But I'm glad that was able to get both the people on here into this presentation. And I really appreciate you all showing up. All right. So, writing personal essays and artist statement. First, let's start with what an artist statement is. Your artist statement is a general introduction to your work, and this is your chance for the schools to get to know who you are and why you are creating the art that you are. It usually begins with the basic idea of your overall work, and is usually 500 words or less. There's usually a maximum of 500 words in what you're allowed to write. When I say a personal essay, I'm usually referring to an essay like the Common App or your general essay that you would submit to all schools. And the artist statement, while it does get submitted to all schools, it is more specific to what you want to do as an artist. This is kind of what sets apart the arts application from a normal application because this is where you talk about where your passion for what you are making comes in. So let's move on to the supplemental materials. The artist statement usually is considered a supplemental material. However, it is typically required for most schools that you are going to apply to. Um, these supplemental materials are usually required for all arts colleges, and that includes a creative resume, major specific essays in addition to an artist statement, creative work samples, and for fields like film and art and dance, that usually includes a portfolio as well, which again we will be discussing tomorrow, and I hope you can join that at 5 p.m. as well. This supplementals, in addition to the artist statement, are what set apart the arts from your normal application. It is quite common that you will be writing multiple essays for each school, and not because of a scholarship opportunity or a Common App essay and then a personal statement. Usually, you will need to provide the artist statement in addition to the Common App essay, in addition to another piece, in addition to another piece, in addition to another piece. And this is seen often with the more competitive schools. So that is one thing that you definitely would need to consider when looking at an application. So what are the schools looking for in your artist statement? The main thing that a lot of schools will tell you is that they want to hear and see your own voice and personal style. I will say I did just have an interview for this project with the head of admissions at USC Dance, and he put a lot of emphasis on to finding your own personal style and making that come across within your artist statement. This basically means they want to know what sets you apart, what makes you an individual. This is where you're going to demonstrate your unique process and your writing ability. And it's your chance to show the schools what you have. What type of storyteller are you through, whether it is through film or dance or theater? You don't want to do something that's going to seem like you're just trying to please the school. It's your chance to show who you are, meaning that they also want to see your own story. Um, how is this field personal to you? Why is it what you want to do? And who has it made you become as a person? Don't be afraid to be personal and share a lot with these admissions counselors. Um, and why are you making what you are, and why is it important to you? A lot of the a lot of what you're going to do while writing an artist statement is question what you are doing. It is very important to ask questions because that is what's going to help you get to the deeper part and the deeper meaning of your statement. And it helps you get an understanding of what you are trying to say. Sometimes it's very hard to get out the right words and convey what you want to say, but by answering these questions and finding the meaning to yourself before writing it down, it makes it so much easier to get it down on paper and in words. You also want to demonstrate that you have an understanding of the world. The same admissions advisor that I talked to emphasized how they often see applications from kids who clearly don't have the awareness for what's going on in the world around them. They want to know that the kids that they are accepting to their school are aware of the other people around them and the events happening in our world. It is so important as an artist that you are updated on the important issues of the world and just anything that's really happening. They also in mean in context of the world that you have a deeper understanding of emotions and that you are able to connect to your own emotions and other people's as an artist, because the big part of being an artist is getting your art out to other people, and they emphasize the importance on that ability. You want to demonstrate how your art applies to the world around you and how it matters to the world around you. You want to be able to engage all five senses through your artist statement. You're probably asking, how do you engage the sense of smell? But there's a way. um, they really want, this is your chance to show the school who you are. It's basically a get to know you in the world of your fields, whether that is film, art, theater, dance, music. So yeah, how to start writing. The big thing is that you understand the prompt. It is so easy, so unbelievably easy to get off topic. You must stay on task. And this is where asking those questions comes into play. If you truly understand what you are going to say, it's going to come across in your writing. It's all about connecting with the audience. So you need to make sure that you connect with what you're saying before somebody else can. It is often a good idea to plan out the exact points that you do want to cover in your statement before just writing it all out at once. Often it is annoying to plan everything. I am very guilty of that feeling, but it can only benefit you to plan out, because you can also limit what you're going to say and look at everything that you want to write and decide, you know what, maybe this isn't the most impactful thing that I could say compared to this point. So that is a very good strategy. Going back to asking questions to yourself, the question, just by repeating the question why, is how you're going to get all the deeper feelings about your art. Why have you created this work? What was your overall vision? What do you expect the audience to feel? How are your current and previous work related? All these questions will lead to the main point that you want to make. The three parts, going back to elementary school English class, how, what, and why. Um, when asking yourself how, you want to, this is where you're going to talk about your process and how you made the art that you are. So how have you created this work? They want to know what your creative process is and how you would describe it. What kind of tools do you use? A lot of people, when hearing this part of an artist statement, are worried that if they haven't worked with state-of-the-art equipment, that they aren't able to answer it, but that's not true. The artist statement at its core is about the passion, and that you are excited to go to a school where you can learn and grow from your abilities. And how would you take your skills that you have now and your creative process that you have now and expand upon it with the resources that a college would give you? For what? You want to describe your content. What is the message or purpose of your art? This is, while how is what is your process, what is more of what is the inspiration, what is the passion? That is where you're going to get a bigger chunk of what you want to discuss. But arguably, out of the three, the most important part is why. Um, Basically, you can question why to any point that you want to make. Why can be split into two parts. The first is, why do you want to pursue a career in this field? And why do you want to get your message out as an artist? If you haven't clarified these questions for yourself, think back to your origin story. What first inspired this passion? Why do you want to do this? What does it mean to you? And why does it drive you? How does it drive you to explore the field? The second step is to define the impact that you would like to make. Is it to amplify marginalized voices or to innovate new technology? Whatever your answer it is, look at it as an opportunity to share not just what you can do in your career, but what you want to do to benefit the community that you are in. It's your way of explaining to the world why this means so much to you and why it is more than why it is a career and not just an interest. The three C's: clear, concise, and consistent. Um, this is going to be how you truly keep your audience engaged. If your artist statement or essay is not clear, concise, and consistent, it becomes a struggle to continue reading. That's the case with any piece of writing. When you write clear in your statement, you want to write with a diction that is not limited to your field. You want to use diction that is universal to everyone because it could overcomplicate your statement. Often for many schools, your application will go through the actual school first and then the department that you are applying to. And admissions advisors in the normal department may not understand some of the film language that you would use or the technical dance vocabulary that you would use. For concise, you don't need any filler information. You need to get to the point without any distractions. Too much information can easily overwhelm someone, and you don't want them to get away from the point that you are trying to make, because this is your chance to explain what you have to offer. You want your essential information to get across to whoever is reading this piece. For consistency, you want your artist statement to complement the work that you submit in your portfolio. If they contradict each other, it's kind of hard to find a deeper understanding in either piece. Matching your statement to your work is one of the most important things you could do in your application. What not to say? Schools often hear that people will say that they paint because they have to, or they put their blood, sweat, and tears into all their films. But that's a very common answer they hear, and it is very generic. It's not personal. The point of the artist statement is to be personal and explain your own experiences. You kind of want to find a happy medium between you paint because you have to and you put all your blood, sweat, and tears into what you create. It is your chance to be up close and personal. Um, you really want them to get to know you. Um, like I said before, with clear, consistent, and concise, you want to write as though your audience has no understanding of your field. Um, it is very easy to use vocabulary that you might know because you have experience in your field, but somebody else might not know. I know I've had many instances where I'll be talking about someone and my friend who has nothing, no knowledge on the world of film is sitting there confused and lost. And that's just in conversation. You don't want that to happen in an application. One big thing is to avoid overused terms and repetition of the same phrases. It is very hard to not use the word film in every sentence if that is what you're applying for, but there is a way. You want to avoid using the title of your field in every sentence because you aren't talking about what a film is or what a dance is. You're talking about your passion for it. There, so there's a way to get around that, as you're not supposed to be explaining or giving a definition. You're supposed to be talking about your personal experience with your field.